Applesauce. So it looks good. We got the cinnamon, so it's got some nice color. And you could even try this with other fruits too. Some fresh fruits. Seasonal is the easiest way to go. We like going to our local farmers markets, seeing what's fresh, tasting different things to get kids.
Georgia peaches would go well
right.
in there. We
That's
have
right. We love
suggestion.
peaches. All right, thank you. We hear the griddle going. We are going to add this. All right, perfect.
Oh, the apple's full.
That's okay. Little mess is okay in the kitchen. So we're gonna let that go for a little bit, and we will have a fabulous snack or dessert. Just give it a little press, and then we have our oven mitt up there. If your kid is old enough to help out near the stove. All right.
And how long do you cook these? And
if you're in the oven, probably about 12 minutes up here, depending on how hot it is. 5-6 minutes should work.
On a
Just
griddle.
flip them when they're ready.
could you do them in a pan too if you wanted to do them?
Yeah, different ways you can go. So just so they get some heat all the way around. So it's just like browning a tortilla.
So what are you thinking, Glenford?
Huh?
What are you thinking about this?
I'm thinking that'll taste good.
Good idea. What do you think?
So when you get to be my age, 22, don't laugh. What do you want to do? Do you know what you want to be?
Not yet.
Not yet. Do you have any ideas? What do you like to do? Maybe you would want to go to culinary school and be a chef?
Yes.
Yeah, possibly. Or a baseball player? Football player? Sorry?
I might be a basketball player.
Basketball player. I like that. Okay.
Thank you.
You have to eat healthily, right? So that you
Yeah.
can play
Thank you.
sports. What's your favorite food, Glenford?
Pizza.
Pizza. Okay, so Yvette,
Yes.
Glenford's favorite food is pizza. So if you knew your child liked pizza, what's the alternative then? You know, getting the $5 garden variety full of
Right.
fat type.
It's easy to start with a dough. You can buy a pre-made dough and kind of build from there. You can work a lot of vegetables into the sauce. Or the easiest thing is just toppings. Buying, if you don't have the time for it, you can buy a pre-made pizza and just add the fresh toppings to what's there. Just trying to avoid the things that have the most preservatives in them. So, but it's fun to make a family pizza night. Everyone can build their own. That's browning up nicely there. It's getting warm. Okay. Yeah, everyone has a little bit different equipment at home, so we brown that one a little bit. We'll give that one to our people who like it a little well done. Okay. All right. So we're just gonna let that simmer for another minute or two. There we go. We're working on, our next cookbook is Healthy American and possibly French cooking. So we're excited to expand there.
So tell me about the cookbooks you already have. So you have the Mexican food.
Yes, and we're gonna be signing the Chinese cookbook today as well. So
What
we
other kind of recipes do you have in the Mexican food cookbook for kids?
We start with a section called All Kids Love. So we try to start with what's familiar to them already. So tacos, and we do farmer's market, pico de gallo and guacamole, and kind of go from there and build on it to the albondiga soup and a salsa. So we kind of do a cultural representation, but also making sure that it's kid-friendly at the same time.
And what about the Chinese food cookbook? Because that's a little more difficult with
Right.
children, I would imagine. That's somewhat of
We
an acquired
definitely
taste.
made sure that all the recipes or all the ingredients are available in mainstream markets, so, around the country. All right, these are a little warm, but I promise they are delicious. So we have a little apple mixture, so feel free to come on up and taste. All right, and we'll get these going.
Or, Janelle will bring them to you. You want to serve?
Oh.
Janelle will serve them. So you
Thank
can,
you,
yeah.
Janelle. This one got a little toasty here. All right. So those are our two recipes today, and there's a lot more in the book, but we're just excited to really be introducing kids to the healthier foods and get them excited about being part of the cooking process as well.
And now,
So-
when you talk about your cookbook coming up for American cuisine, what kind of foods are you going to include there? Because you take the typical hot
Right.
dog and macaroni and cheese.
We're gonna take those traditional items and put a little bit healthier spin. So taking some things like mac and cheese and lightening it up, using things like pumpkin puree and chilies to thicken them instead of heavier meats, things like that. So little tips that are still authentic to American cooking, but also conscientious of making sure we're live long, healthy lives.
And what's the general reaction, I mean, with kids, and how early can you start cooking with them?
I don't think there's a too early. I think as soon as your child is eating, there's already an interest in what's being put into their bodies. So there's, from the mince we have here, a very young child can tear it up and be part of the process with you. And it's also a great way to keep your child busy in the kitchen while you're preparing dinner. Or lunches for the week.
So Glenford, what are you going to make for dinner tonight when you and your mom get home?
Ooh, the same thing that we did right here.
So you're going to have apple tacos. Oh, Grandma, you're going to have apple tacos tonight for dinner.
Sounds good.
That's great. And also, is there any other tips that you can give us about keep teaching kids how to eat more healthfully? And,
Right.
whether or not you're going to sit down and make a whole meal, but even in the grocery store and help them pick out foods and get involved in the process?
I think reading the labels, things as simple as applesauce and peanut butter, making sure there's not high fructose corn syrup in them, making sure there's not these preservatives. The right products are out there. It's just taking a little more time to read through the labels, making sure that we're being advocates for what we want. And so a lot of people assume that when they buy peanut butter, it's 100% peanut butter or peanuts, but it's unfortunately there's a lot of hydrogenated oils and other fats in there that we should not be consuming. So I would say taking a little more time in the market, looking through things. Almost every grocery store has those items available now. It's just making sure that's what you're actually putting in your body. So
What do you think?
It's excellent, really. I really dig the tortilla, the whole wheat. Amazing.
great.
See, and so this is something, it doesn't have to be just for kids, though. I mean, if you have a teenager or even for yourself, it's simple.
Right.
Because if we can't go home and make a 4-course meal or do a 20-ingredient meal,
Absolutely.
this is perfect for adults.
Super simple. All my friends use the recipes, so from the cookbooks, and we're in our 30s now, so we're enjoying them. These are great for parties too. You can, fancy them up a little with a homemade whipped cream with apples in it. Again, alcohol can be added to certain things to make it more adult friendly, but yeah, these are recipes the whole family will enjoy.
And I would imagine it would make a nice gift if you're looking for a kid's party.
Exactly. It's a unique birthday gift, but it's something the whole family's going to use. So, and again, the recipes are family friendly. They're not just kid foods. So this is something you'd make for grandma, right?
What do you think is Glenford is the next thing that she should make and cook?
Huh?
What's the next thing that she should make or cook? What else?
What should I make
What else
next?
do you want to eat?
Anything.
Anything that you would think that she can make that would be a little bit healthier than what you've had before, that she should add into her American cuisine cookbook?
Pizza?
Yeah. Do you eat hot dogs, hamburgers, stuff like that? Mac and cheese?
Yeah.
What's the kind of feedback, Yvette, that you've been getting from parents?
I think families are excited to see something that they can incorporate into their kind of regular routine. It's not anything drastic. We're taking basic ingredients and just kind of giving tips on how to bring them into your life. I think families are excited to find a book that introduces the culture, the language of another country, and something for them to do together as well. So, and it has a long time effect. When you introduce food to a child, that sets their eating habits for the rest of their life.
Does anybody have any questions for Yvette or Glenford? What about somebody owns a shop, a store, and they want to carry this to sell it? Do you have any tips that you can give us on how to merchandise the cookbook and the set?
Absolutely. So just a lot of times, like with Cinco de Mayo, it's a great way to bring in the Mexican cookbook and do a very simple demo in the store. There's even simpler ones than we did today that require very little setup, that could be easy and bring in a lot of customers to check out the new product. So I think that's a great way to go about it, and just kind of put a book out there, let families look through it and see the recipes that they can be excited to use at home. So
Chinese New Year.
absolutely, Chinese New Year, Italian Appreciation Week, absolutely.
So you could tie it into almost anything.
Right. Right.
That's great. And so, all right, Glenford, if you're going to grow up and be a chef, maybe, chef/basketball player, what kind of food are you going to cook? Besides pizza, because we know you love pizza.
Healthy foods.
Healthy foods, that's perfect.
Well said. Well said.
I have another question for Glenford. I want to know if, when he cooks, if it helps him with his math.
Yes, it does.
You know your fractions better than anyone, I bet.
Huh?
Do you know your fractions better than anyone? Your half cup,
We
your
cooked
quarter
yesterday. We had
cup.
to measure everything out, remember? And we had to figure out the difference between 1/4 and a half teaspoon.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you did it perfectly. Yeah. He knows his fractions. I can vouch for it.
Eating well makes you smart.
There you go.
That's another good selling point. You know what?
Absolutely.
It's not just, and it is, like, for instance, baking, it's all about precise
Science and
measurements and
precision.
science. And
For
that's
sure.
great. So did you have fun, Glenford?
Yes. I had a lot
Awesome.
of fun.
Anybody have
Yeah.
any more questions? Oh, we have a question.
I have a question for Yvette. It seems like your cookbooks are kids friendly.
Yes.
Okay, mainly the ingredients are in there. If I gave it to my son, he's able to open his cookbook and it's basic ingredients that he can
I
actually
can't hear
pick
you.
out.
I'm so sorry.
I said if I able to give the cookbook to my son, is the ingredients in there basic ingredients that he would understand? You know how some cookbooks they have different
Absolutely.
ingredients.
Well, all the ingredients are available in the local market, but the book should be used with an adult or a parent as well. You know, a young child can definitely be in the kitchen, but you always want to have some supervision in there. So.
And I noticed you also have cooking accessories and all
Yes,
that with
we're-
it too. Talk a little bit about, so it's not just the cookbook, but it
No,
can be other things.
we're just launching this line. We're calling it The Adventures of Healthy Eating. We have the apron, chef's hat, and mitt. So those will be available for holiday, which we're excited about. So they're great because they're adjustable for kids, and you just pull the straps, and you're ready to cook.
That's perfect. So you can start with the book, and then you can build up with the accessories, or you can do all at once.
Exactly. All right.
Fantastic. Any more questions for Yvette at all? All right, Grandma, how did Glenford do?
Oh, he did wonderful. I am so proud of you.
Thanks.
There you go.
I can't wait for you to come over and cook for me.
That's awesome. Now you're on the
the
hook
hook.
for cooking for Grandma. No more Grandma cooking for you, right? You okay with that?
Yes.
Okay, you heard it here. And now you're going to have some cookbooks for us.
Yes.
We're getting a little bit of a discount because we're here and you're
Absolutely.
so wonderful.
Yes, we have the Chinese cookbook that comes in a big takeout box with chopsticks. Retails for $25, but we're going to sell them today for $20, and I'll be right outside.
And you'll be signing them if people
Yes.
want to get them for gifts
Sure.
or for their kids or for themselves.
Right.
It's okay.
Right?
Fantastic. Anything else for Yvette? Well, thank you so much,
Thank
Yvette
you.
Garfield and Glenford.
Yes,
You are a
good job.
superstar. We appreciate
right.
you. And again, it's Handstand Kids Cookbook Company. Fantastic chef's hats, oven mitts, aprons, mats, cookbooks, all the stuff that you need. Thank you so much.
Thank you.